And now on to the top group. Mark Maloney was ready to go, and so was the crowd in the pit and in the clubhouse, also on the grounds. As the pace car pulled off, it was Mark Maloney out front in the Mazda RX-3 with his father Doug Maloney in hot pursuit in the Audi Quattro. Down the hammer and Stuart Williams joins the party. Having qualified on pole on what he terms was a slippery track, Mark Maloney was not only looking to win, but also to lower his time. Also racing in this group were groups 3A, 3B, and 3C. As Mark opened a slight advantage, Doug Maloney was coming under some heavy pressure from the current two-wheel drive lap record holder, Stuart Williams. And the battle for second place was more than alive. But the Audi had the advantage down the front straight, and Williams would have to wait. Cliff Rowett was leading Group 3B and 3C, followed by Andre Waite. Ryan Carrington was being pressured by Kirk Thompson, and Darren Clark had the 2009 champion driver Carl Waterman in his trunk. Back at the front, and Mark Maloney continues to lead the race, but his father has his hands full with Williams. And the Lotus darts down the inside of the Audi, and Williams has moved up into second place and sets his sights on the race leader, who is not too far away. Doug Maloney had more than just Williams to contend with, as he had lost second gear, which allowed Williams to power by. Kirk Thompson in the red Honda was still trying to find a way past Ryan Carrington. Williams appears to have closed on Mark Maloney, and it looked like he was going to challenge for the lead. Could he also make it past the Rockstar-sponsored Mazda RX-3? Williams' team had worked very hard to have him out for the first race meet after the car caught fire on Thursday while they were at the track. But all does not appear to be right, and Williams drops off the pace of Mark Maloney. This allowed Doug Maloney, who was seeking to regain his position, to close rapidly. And not only close, but also move into second place. Mark Maloney went on to win the first race from his father Doug Maloney and Stuart Williams. After a battle all race long, Kirk Thompson finally made it past Carrington on the final lap and speeds down the front straight in a hope of nipping Waite. Can he make it in time? Yes, he manages to win Group 3A, but just barely.
Mark Maloney, tell us about the race.
It was exciting. After the first lap, I realized I had no brakes, none. So I basically had to use the gears to pull the car down, and it was kind of scary and dicey at moments, but I just kept them in my rearview mirror and just did what I had to do. I couldn't push hard because I had no brakes, but it was a nice win nevertheless.
Doug Maloney, great racing. Second pass back Stuart Williams after he passed you. Can you describe it for us?
Problem down in there is I lost my second gear. I have no second. So I got passed down in there when I was in third, but it's terminal, so I don't know what I'm going to do in the next race because it's getting worse.
Stuart Williams, first race out, it was looking pretty good. How was it inside the car?
It was okay. We had a lot of challenges leading up to getting the car out, and of course with the burn, the guys really did a very, very good job to get the car back together. Dennis Heath had to rewire the whole car from scratch and replace all the hoses and so on, so it basically was a 3-day job. But we got out. We've had some little challenges. The car had a very bad misfire in the first race after about 4 laps, so I started to drop back a little bit. So we're just trying to figure out what that is now.
Devon Clark, rookie to the circuit, first race. How was it for you?
Was going quite smooth at first. My first mistake was I didn't watch the lights to see when I turned on green. After about 3 laps, the accelerator cable stopped. So I had to pull off. So just unfortunate, but as I say, I'm a rookie. I'm on a learning curve and hope to do better in the next race.
For the other races, Doug Maloney was out with a gearbox problem, handing to Stuart Williams his place for the next race. And the race is on. It is Williams who goes ahead, but wait, it looks like Maloney is fighting back. And once again the two are side by side. This time it is Mark Maloney who gets ahead. Stuart Williams tucks right in behind him. Cliff Royd was third and his Starlet was without a front or rear windscreen. Veer Ford was bringing up the rear. But the battle for the lead was still very much alive and Williams was applying some heavy pressure. And like a wolf stalking its prey, Williams was on the hunt. Down the front and there is no change, the two are still nose and tail. It is what both drivers wanted from the onset, to be able to race against each other full out, and the crowd was loving it. As Williams turns into the gooseneck, the Lotus spins out. He is immediately back onto the power. Let's take another look. This allows Mark Maloney to get away and to go on to claiming his third victory in as many races. Cliff Royd was at the front of his group once again. Celebration time for Mark Maloney. A job well done. Stuart Williams and Mark Maloney congratulate each other on a fine display of